Welcome back to day 3 of our live stream series with featured speakers from the Summit, Activate Your Prosperous Life. I'm your host, Jennifer Seifert, and I'm blessed and I'm expanding and I'm activating my prosperous life in 2026. And so are all of these people. We're all elevating in prosperity just by being here right now, bringing our wisdom, our wealth, identity upgrades to you. That is our topic today. And I'm going to go around the room in the live stream here and get every one of these featured speakers to share a little bit about themselves, their work, and how they are becoming the CEO, or they've already become, or they know how to help you become the CEO who receives in 2026. So thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everyone who's watching live. And if you're watching the replay, let us know, #replay later in the comments, and put your comments in. We'll all be going back to these posts later and replying to you and connecting with you more. And in the post above is the link to join the summit. So please join us in the summit. It is a 14-day interview series summit where one of these speakers will be coming right to your inbox, and you'll be able to go deeper with them. So I see Trisha right beside me here. Can you tell me, Trisha, and tell the audience what you do, your work, and how becoming the CEO who receives is important to you this year?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think 2025 for me was definitely a year of creation. And this year is my year of putting it out into the world. And so I've been an entrepreneur for about 14 years, now helping coaches and mentors and all of that with their web design and branding. And then this year is just completely different because I'm stepping into being an owner of Trail XR, and that is creating AI digital twins for those coaches and mentors. So it's just another piece of their technology that we get to bring to the world. And it's like going from a 6-figure business, right, into like a multi-million-dollar business. And so what that takes, right, is like the belief and the identity of this new version of myself. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to step into it. And I just love talking about like subconscious reprogramming and rewiring. And I think that that's what it takes. That's what I am working on currently, is creating a method for people to be able to do that much faster rather than taking 14 years like it took me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, faster and easier and more effortless is one of the ways that you can help everybody become more prosperous in 2026 with your work. Arena, tell us more about yourself, what you do, and how becoming the CEO who receives in 2026 is so important.
Yay, and thanks so much for having me here. My name is Irina Portnova, and I'm all about the law of attraction and manifestation. I love to help my clients to consciously create what they want. And this is my jam. I love for people to feel that they can attract anything that they desire. So I actually combine the law of attraction with the strategies in order to manifest the best businesses. So I work with coaches, consultants, and business owners to bring that amazing magnetic energy and attract with strategies amazing clients through creating beautiful events like yours for the summits and co-creations, because this is the best way for visibility and building your audience, because now you have somebody to sell to. And that's exactly what I love to do. And when we talk about receiving, I think receiving was something that I was born with, because I remember myself being a small girl. I love to receive the compliments. I love to receive the attention, but obviously there is always something that we can up level with, right? So my goal in 2026 to up level my receiving to the extent that I've never experienced before. And when we talk about receiving, what I love to point out, we gotta know how to receive the ideas, because the ideas is the first currency from the universe.
I love it. I love it. Ideas. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey, you're next. Tell us a bit more about you. We're doing a big collaboration on a book this year, but we're also collaborating here. I know you from different worlds. We have been in the same worlds for so long. Tell us how becoming the CEO who receives this year is important to you and your work.
Yes, thanks, Jennifer. Well, I do transformative life coaching and expressive arts with clients and in small groups. And I just feel like 2026 is a time when women especially, but all of us could be more fierce and more powerful in our roles as leaders, in our lives, in our businesses. And I think, this is a ferocious year, 2026, and I want to help people harness that ferocity so they can unleash it in ways that really help to shape the world that they want to be living in.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Tamara, you and I have just become connected earlier this year, and I love you're from the Wall Street world, and now you help people really make money, really learn how to make money.
Well, I don't know about that. No. I mean, as I reflect back on my life and where I've come in the last 5 years, which is the 5 years after I left Wall Street, and have embarked on this massive spiritual journey, which started while I was still on Wall Street. I mean, I've been in the personal development space since I was 18 years old, and my mother passed away. So I've been sort of running these parallel lives, the secular money-driven hustle of Wall Street, and then this sort of spiritual path. And I often brought the two together and used the things I learned in the spiritual in my Wall Street career. And I think that like 1000x when I left Wall Street and really went on this transformational journey of my own self-discovery and introspection, and learned I don't really even know who I am. I need to peel back this onion. And it was a long, painful process, but where I have emerged has been an incredible place. And I, for one, am super excited about 2026. And the reason I'm excited, I think it's the most interesting time to be alive. I mean, you cannot deny what's going on in the world. For some, it's horrifying. For some, it's terrifying. For me, it's exciting because I've done the work. And now I can sort of rise above and watch the show with, I don't know, it's just a super interesting time. Now, I do feel like my purpose is really coming into clarity, because as people wake up, having had their head buried in the sand, and they wake up to a world unrecognizable, they're going to struggle. And I feel like that's really my true purpose. And I'm getting, I mostly serve Wall Street type clients. I do serve mostly people in corporate in general. And I sort of really specialize in helping them really connect with themselves, identify their passion and purpose so that they can live in alignment. And
that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm going to cut you off there. We're going to go on to Connie, but you can come back in this next time. That's amazing that you do that. I totally understand exactly what you're talking about. Connie, tell us about your work and how you are stepping into becoming the CEO who receives, or you help your clients, because I know you're helping me.
Thanks, Jennifer, and thank you for inviting me to be part of the summit. So I'm Connie Pertula, the Menopause Navigator. So that pretty much explains what I do. I help women navigate all the stages of menopause from peri to post. And it's really interesting, when you talk about the CEO thing, because I left the corporate world in August 2013, and my focus was becoming a certified nutritionist. That's I was going to go back to school. And I really didn't think of myself as the CEO of my business. It's like, I'm a nutritionist and this is what I do. And that's been a mind shift for me, a mindset shift for me over the last number of years of, I'm the CEO of my business. So I feel that that's more empowering in some ways for me. But I also teach my clients how to become the CEOs of their bodies. It sounds kind of funny, right? Like being the boss of our body. But, you know, as a CEO, when you think about it from a business perspective, you're the overseer of everything that's going on in the business. And you're getting messages from various different people and departments that are letting you know what's going on. And our body does the same thing, right? Our body is always sending us messages. But if we're up at the top here and we're not listening, that's when we get into trouble. So, yeah, that's basically what I do. I help you be the CEO of your body.
I love it. I love it. And you absolutely do. Connie is my nutritionist and personal trainer, and me being a CEO is totally connected to having that in my life. Del Lewis is also my business coach, and I'm so grateful to have him here with us. And he also helps me become the CEO who receives as well. And tell us, Del, about your work and how, you know, becoming the CEO is so important.
Sure. My company, Triclear Business Holdings, I founded a long time ago. I won't tell you how old I am. Founded a long time ago, but in a nutshell, we invest with and build entrepreneurs. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur most of my professional life. Did a little stint on Wall Street as well, but most of my professional life have been an entrepreneur. And I just believe entrepreneurship makes the world go round. And so I love working with and dealing with entrepreneurs. So we do coaching, mentoring, and then much like Trisha, we've embraced this AI space because I think there's a whole new frontier where we can bring tools to entrepreneurs to help them do what they do better. And I absolutely love this concept of receiving because I think it is so important and so integral to everything that we do as business owners and as CEOs. And it's interesting because I think it's counterintuitive somewhat, right? When I think about it, my mind immediately goes, and Jennifer, you know this because I'm sure I've said it 1,000 times, it immediately goes to being on an airplane, right? And you get that one message at that one point. In the unlikely event of a loss of oxygen, an oxygen mask is going to come down. And being a parent, I don't know if there's any parents here on the call, but being a parent, asking me to put the oxygen mask on myself before I put it on my child is so counterintuitive as a parent. But it is absolutely the way that you can be the best that you can possibly be. And so I think those of us that are givers, and I think everybody on the call here is a giver, we can be much better givers if we first learn how to be receivers.
You're so right. You're so right. And I think that's one of our main messages that the whole summit, Activating Your Prosperous Life, is giving, is you have to activate yourself and then you can receive. You can receive. And we're going to go through another round of questions here. And Trisha, you're next as well. And your talk, I have it here. What did your soul come here for? Turning divine purpose into prosperous reality. How does clarity around your divine purpose support receiving more as a CEO?
How does clarity around your divine purpose help you? Oh gosh, yes. So I think for me, clarity is like, I mean, I literally built a digital twin named Clara because of clarity, right? So clarity for me, I mean, I get these like divine ideas in the middle of the night and I'm like, I'm supposed to create what? Okay, like here we go, right? And then, so I think that to me, it just feels so aligned and it feels so purposeful. And I think, I mean, Jennifer is actually my coach, which is amazing. I love her so much. So thank you for doing this. And I think for me, I'm just learning to feel all my emotions this year, or like, well, really last year, right into this year, and just actually feel them instead of kind of covering them up and just working. And so with that comes the surrender, right? I'm having to surrender to getting to surrender to this beautiful purpose that I'm here for. And it's helping people heal. And whenever you have to be healing, right? You have to receive forgiveness from yourself. You have to receive from others, and receiving is definitely a huge lesson for entrepreneurship because I love what Del just said about receiving. And it's like we have to be able to give up the control, right? Because we're all control freaks. That's why we started our businesses to begin with. And so when we can give up that control and receive and surrender, that's when the wealth starts flowing. That's when the people, you become a magnet, and your clients, your ideal clients, are just attracted to you. I hope I answered the question.
You did. You answered it. I love it. I love it. And Irina Portnova, she's also my summit coach too. So, the putting all of this on is because I've been coaching with her, or being coached by her. And I'm so
And
blessed.
Jennifer, one of the best students, I can tell you, it feels great when people can actually follow through. This is like the biggest.
Yeah. So your talk, Manifest Cash on Demand, she does help you with this. I'm telling you for sure. How does the energy of receiving connect with cash manifestation? Like, how does that connect?
I love that question, Jennifer. So, like a lot of times people are saying, okay, I have to look how much money I have in my bank account in order to decide what I can or cannot do. So I actually allow people to shift their focus and say, whatever you want to do has nothing to do with what you have in your bank account. And a lot of people are at awe. They're like, what do you mean? And I say, let's manifest more cash, right? Because we actually can. And when we start looking from the perspective, as I mentioned before, remember, we start manifesting the new ideas. What kind of idea? It's all about just connecting with that thought process where everything is possible. If I'm on that frequency where everything is possible, and you know what I'm talking about, Jennifer, because you're also working with frequency. When we connect on that frequency and say, what steps can I take to attract more money, more clients, more opportunities? Our thinking automatically goes in that direction. And again, ideas flow through, right? And again, the ideas is the first currency from the universe. We can attract $1 idea, or we can attract $1 million idea. So when somebody says, I do not have money, I always redirect them and say, let's manifest more on demand. And that's exactly what I love to do.
I love it. I love it. And I love and being in the energy. So all of these people, these frequencies, yeah, we're all frequencies. And I don't know if you can feel it, but maybe you can. But we all are having this frequency, and so we're raising this frequency of prosperity and manifesting and purpose and all of that. That's all getting energized and generated. And you're getting, you're feeling it, and it makes manifesting so much easier. Kelsey, your talk, Fierce You Lead with Confidence and Power. How does being fierce and confident really help you magnetize what you want and receive what you want?
I love that question. And I think, the idea of being fierce can be confrontational for people, especially in the spiritual world. But what I try to get people to see is that, ferocity and being fierce is also about being vulnerable, or, having that sort of soft fist versus a hard fist. And that was really how I started to lean into my own ability to be fierce, was to really explore how to be authentic. How does this word really land in my system? What does it mean to me? And in expressive arts, a lot of the work I do is about symbols or metaphors, and really helping people to understand and define things for themselves, and not the story they have about it or what society has told them this means, but really, what does it mean to them on a personal level, and how can they use that to maximize what they want in their business, in their life, in their finances, on all the levels. And one of the symbols for me that has helped me to really land in my own fierceness is, of course, my cats. And I just last year, got a black kitten. And as Jennifer knows, we've been bonding over having black cats. They're a very special kind of cat. I had no preparation for the amount of aggressiveness and ferocity that this little kitten has. And she's just been inspiring me this year to lean in even more to my own fierceness.
Awesome.
Yeah, I also have a black cat.
Yeah. Merlin is sleeping in the chair at the moment. Thank goodness. He likes to interrupt these meetings a lot. Tamara, your talk, and you also have a book, you're an author as well, that connects to this. Empower Her, Master the Art of Salary Negotiations. I love this. And wait till you hear her talk. It's so powerful. What inner shift do we really need to receive more money? What's the inner shift that we really need?
Yeah. I mean, it's all about becoming, really understanding that the external has nothing to do with the outcome that you want. It's all an inside job. And until you can step in and embody the person that you need to be in order to, be at the level you want to be, then nothing you really do externally is really going to work. And, salary negotiations is something that I've really focused on since I was, first in my Wall Street job, felt I was underpaid. And my aunt, who worked at a factory, was like, ask her a raise. And I was like, oh, we don't do that at JP Morgan. And she was like, she called bullshit on me and said, men do it all the time, but they do it behind closed doors, which is why you don't hear about it. And she was right. And so I started every year asking for a raise, even in years where I didn't ask for a raise, always having the conversation, getting comfortable around the conversation. And that's what this, this course and this topic and this workbook, it's really all about. It's trying to help you develop your relationship with money, because almost everybody is uncomfortable with money. Everybody has money wounds. Everyone has a money story. Everyone has money baggage. And asking for money is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Now, going back to what I talked about, purpose, you're never going to be able to escape the matrix and really be free in the world that is coming until you can unhook yourself from the biggest lever of control that the powers that be have on us, and that is money. So this is sort of one step to get you to where you need to be. If you could kind of unhook and really, think about it. Looking to see what our balance is in our bank account, it sends our nervous system into like chaos. Every decision we make is based on money, whether you fly coach or business class, whether you even take that vacation, every single decision. So it's really about confronting your relationship with money.
It is. Thank you so much. And you definitely have to press the button and register for the summit. I'm going to ask you here again because I want to ask, and make sure you come and get these talks, because it's going to really help you. It's really going to help you become the CEO who receives. We have 2 more left. Connie, the power of menopause is your talk. How can tuning into the wisdom of your body help you expand the capacity to receive in your business?
Yeah. As women, and not saying that men don't put their families first, but, women are usually the ones that are making sure that everybody's okay. If they're raising kids or, working at the same time, they're generally looking after the household. And women sort of discount what we know. There's an inherent knowledge inside of us as to how to look after everybody and how to keep, everything moving along smoothly. Even in business, as women, sometimes we discount our intuition and don't always necessarily speak up. So once we come into menopause, perimenopause, but I'll just call it overarching menopause for all the stages. But once we come into this time of our life, this is an opportunity to take all of this wisdom that we've gained, whether it be raising children, working in a corporate position, looking after aging parents. There's a lot of wisdom that comes along with that. And so this is our time to sort of pull back and say, gee, what do I need to do for myself? What's possible for me now? A lot of women put dreams aside or certain things that they maybe wanted to do. Even in a lot of cases, there's women that, sometimes think of they're working in the corporate world of leaving and starting their own business, but there's an apprehension to that. What do I know? What do I have to bring? And we have so much to bring. So this is where I'm helping women tap into that wisdom. But the only way that we can do that is if we tap into ourselves, if we tap into what our body's telling us, what type of support our body needs. And so all of these things come together. That makes us extremely powerful. And I love what Kelsey said about ferocity. As women, I think a lot of times we fear that word, right? Ferocity. And Jennifer, working with you, I've really seen your power increase. And Irina, I would agree, Jennifer's an excellent student, because once we started working together, you were all in. A little overwhelmingly all in at first. But as you've applied everything, I've seen your power increase throughout this past year. And this is what's possible for us as women. I saw my power increase once I paid attention to what my body needed, gave myself that good foundation, and I feel amazing at 64. I feel better than I did at 52. So it's possible.
Yeah. And she doesn't look 64 either. And yes, you need a lot of energy to run a summit, and definitely I'm so happy I started preparing a year ahead my body to do this, because now I can do even more and more and more. Del Lewis, Building $1 Million Lifestyle Aligned Business Brand is the name of your talk. How does that align with unlocking your next level receiving for CEO?
Yeah, well, again, I think it's just, in a nutshell, it really is all about receiving. So, a couple of my core beliefs is that the universe is abundant. Everything is out there and is available to you. You're not taking away from anybody when you are taking something in. And it's also my belief that the universe never gives you more than you can handle. So if you want to keep raising the bar, the universe will say, okay, I'm right along with you, right? And we'll keep doing that. And I think this aspect of giving and receiving, metaphorically, as I was thinking about it, it's kind of like being in your home and, having a knock on the front door, but not answering it and going out the back door. And sort of going out the back door is your way of giving, right? I'm going to go out the back door and I'm going to help the world. But it's the universe knocking on the front door, wanting to give you all of these things that you can potentially receive. And I think metaphorically, when you can open that front door, which is, and in my line of work and in my business, creating your business to be the type of lifestyle that you want to live, right? That's what I mean by $1 million lifestyle. You can have $1 million lifestyle by having a $100,000 business or a $10 million business. It's a business that feels like $1 million. That's what I mean by $1 million lifestyle. But when you open that front door and allow yourself to receive, then it allows you to ultimately give so much more, because you have so much more to give, because you received.
Yeah. And you have freedom. So you're really creating this freedom. And like Irina said, is like, you don't have to, your bank account doesn't decide your decisions. The front door, you decide. You're the one that's opening the door. And I practice this a lot we're going to go right away. But for the last 3 months, I've been saying yes to a lot of things, and I don't know how they're going to happen. And the resources come in. So you just have to practice. Start small if you have to. Just have to practice saying yes to the things that you want. So please register for the summit. You're going to get fabulous interviews and expand from every interview that you watch. And if you want to become a VIP, you can be, connecting with us even deeper. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you
so much for joining me too. My favorite people in the world.